This changes everything for the Edmonton Oilers after a disastrous result last night against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we'll have some updates on what exactly happened after the game. But before we get into all the news, all the rumors, all the breakdowns, and the recap from last night's what seemed to be a poor effort at a hockey game, make sure to subscribe here to Oilers Digest as we are close to 2,200 subscribers. Make sure to join us along the ride here as we get into what seems to be a very, very interesting Edmonton Oilers season, and it's only going to get more interesting with the news I have later on. But horror story, yes, it is October, it is almost Halloween, and you know horror stories are mostly fiction, but this one last night was real as the Edmonton Oilers did take on the Columbus Blue Jackets at Nationwide Arena, an arena that they seem to be cursed at, not having won there since, funnily enough, October 2019. So yes, folks, it's been 5 years, and it's going to be another year at least until next season when they go back to Columbus, as they dropped last night 6-1 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. It seemed to be a very a poor effort after what happened in the first period. I'll get into that later on. But yeah, 6-1 Jackets. The scoring summary here. Sean Monahan makes it 1-0 Jackets on the power play. Adam Fantilli and Cole Sillinger make it 3-0 before the first intermission. Matthew Olivier makes it 4-0 Jackets. And then Mikhail Pudia with his first NHL goal. You know, if you want your first NHL goal, make sure to play the Oilers because there's a good chance you will get it. Sean Monahan makes it 6-0. And Matthias Ekholm with a little under half a minute makes it 6-1 Oilers. So there was no jacket shutout for Elvis Merzlikins last night. So again, just gonna flat out say a very poor effort by the Edmonton Oilers after what transpired in the first period. Of course, the shots and goal of the Oilers 32. That was a very easy 32 or 31 save win for Elvis Merzlikins. Again, going 1 for 6 on the power play. The special teams not doing them any favors. They did kill a double minor in the second period, but they did get scored on shortly after that in the second period by Matthew Olivier there. So it didn't really matter killing off the double minor. They were just going to get scored on anyways. Face-offs. I mean, they're doing well on the face-off dot this season. That's the one takeaway from, the positives of the season, but there wasn't really a whole lot of anything else, and then the graph wasn't doing the Oilers any favors whatsoever. The offense, very anemic last night. Defense, nowhere to be found. Stuart Skinner, sure, the first 2 or 3 goals, those they could be on him, but just the Oilers' effort in front of Stuart Skinner did not do him any favors. But the real story, yes, Connor McDavid, one shift, only 37 seconds of ice time. I'll show you what happened here. In slow-mo, Zach Werenski trips him shortly past the blue line there, and you can see McDavid's left foot go into the boards awkwardly there. Show that again there. Left foot goes into the boards awkwardly. He got up there, skated for a bit, based off, adrenaline, and then went back to the bench, and then the Oilers rolled all 4 lines before the broadcast team sort of mentioned, hey, where is Connor McDavid? And then he went to the dressing room, and he was nowhere to be found after that, as the Oilers, halfway through the first period, announced Connor McDavid lower body, so his leg will not return for the Oilers tonight. And then every Oiler fan went through the grieving stages. Of course, this one was denial. It's like, okay, where is Connor McDavid? And then Ryan Rishaug shortly thereafter said, early word out of Columbus is that it's nothing too serious with McDavid at this point. So very optimistic about that. Of course, with ankle injuries, you don't want to treat that lightly. As with any leg injury, I mean, Connor McDavid did have the leg problem at the end of the 2018-2019 season when he went through the boards hard, but he also had the summer to rehab that. And he also had an injury problem last year around the same time, late October. So it's a bit worrisome, but if it's nothing too serious at this point, we will just have to see for the official announcement later on. And then Frank Saravalli this morning on an Edmonton sports radio talk show said today, best case scenario, yes, this only being the best case scenario, Connor McDavid is missing a couple weeks. I mean, you want to, not take it lightly. The more time off, the better. Of course, the Oilers at this time at a time like this, they need him. And I think, last season when he went through this again, they rushed him a bit too soon. And then you could see it sort of lingered with Connor McDavid later on in the year. So, of course, health over everything. Sure, the Oilers not exactly, off to a very hot start. But with Connor McDavid, you want to, tread that lightly. And Kris Knoblauch with an update here said he's going back to Edmonton to get evaluated. I'll have an update later tomorrow with Stan Bowman being here on the Oilers road trip. We've discussed it, and we'll make that decision either tonight or tomorrow about who's coming up to replace him. Now, I know there's also the option of running 11-7, as the Oilers do have Travis Dermott on the roster, but Kris Knoblauch not exactly a fan of running 11-7. So the Oilers, I do believe, will call up someone from the Bakersfield Condors. And he was also asked about the other Oilers stepping up in lieu of Connor McDavid. And Kris Knoblauch had this to say. He said, "He's your captain and your best player. It should be an opportunity for guys to step up and say, I got this, just more ice time, more opportunity." And I think it's tough anytime you're playing without your best player. But if it's something that we're going to have to deal with, hopefully short term, obviously our team's going to look different. But like I said, if that's 1 or 2 games, I'm not sure. And of course, with Connor McDavid going down last night, that didn't seem to be the case with the rest of the Oilers, sort of stepping up for their captain. As you can see, the final score, 6-1. That might just be, a shock to the system for the rest of the teams. Hey, we don't have one guy to do most of the work for us. But it's just a case-by-case game scenario here. I know Leon Draisaitl, that's pretty much the reason why he won the 2020 Hart Trophy when Connor McDavid went down in February of 2020. Leon Draisaitl sort of, took the reins and led his team to sort of a playoff spot. I know it was the qualifiers, but that just goes without saying. But when it comes to lineup, replacement scenarios, there are 2 that are listed here. Matt Savoy and Noah Phillip. Top prospect Matt Savoy, who Edmonton acquired from the Buffalo Sabres this summer, is tied for second on the Bakersfield Condors in scoring with 4 points through 6 games, and could give the Oilers a reinforcement for their top 6 forward group, but with Connor McDavid being a center. Another option is Noah Phillip, who impressed during training camp, myself included. I think he should have made the team over a guy like Derek Ryan when he was competing with Derek Ryan for the 4th-line center role. The former University of Alberta Golden Bear has 2 goals and 3 points in 6 games for the Condors. He could play in Edmonton's bottom 6. Adam Henry could move up to one of the top 2 lines in McDavid's absence. And what could that look like? A top 6 of Nugent-Hopkins, Draisaitl, and Arvidsson. Nugent-Hopkins and Draisaitl. Nugent-Hopkins seems to elevate Draisaitl's play, and then Arvidsson just try to get him going. And then the second line, Jeff Skinner, Adam Henrique, Zach Hyman. Third line, Vasily Podkolzin and Noah Phillip, and Connor Brown, and then Janmark Ryan in Perry. So the only line that would not be touched there is the 4th line with Janmark, Ryan, and Perry. I think, an addition of Noah Phillip could do something to the Oilers' bottom 6. I think he played fairly well in the preseason. Not enough to, make the Oilers, a lot better, because, you do that anyways with McDavid in the lineup, but it's just something to sort of hold down the reinforcements before McDavid gets back, whenever that is. Now, what's next? The Oilers do take on the Nashville Predators on Halloween night. If there's any solace from this, it is that Leon Draisaitl and the Edmonton Oilers get to take on the Nashville Predators, of course. The Oilers unbeaten in Nashville for the past couple games. Draisaitl, I mentioned it in a previous video before, he's terrorized the Nashville Predators. So, there is one positive from this going into Thursday's game against Nashville. That's it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments, how worried are you exactly? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm right now 11. Yeah, without McDavid. The Oilers, again, they just seemed to be very flat last night after he left the ice. Of course, that meant they were a forward down, more ice time, more energy spent, but still, your best player is your best player, and you aren't the best team you can possibly be without him. Let me know down in the comments. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I'm Matt.